Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Blodger Show. I'm your host, Chris Blodgett, and I want to welcome you to this bonus episode. Yo, 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 yo. Welcome to this bonus episode, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And as always, apologies. The way this week has gone, still unable to get that next part of the last story to kind of give you guys a little bit of a rundown. The way this week has gone down, it's like I've been doing a lot of like full-on overnights, going into like 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night, getting back at like 8, 9, 10 o'clock, sometimes a little bit later in the morning the next day, basically getting like 6 or 7 hours of sleep, and then getting up, hanging out with the fam for an hour or two, and coming back to work, and haven't really had a whole lot of time to actually sit out for a few hours. Either that, or I just didn't have the energy level because of the way the week's gone. But I mean, so part of what I wanted to do for this bonus episode was I wanted to, you know how it is. It's so much easier to focus on the negative. It's so much easier to think about the things that are going wrong, the things that you are unhappy with, the things that are dragging you down. Really, you know, it's so much easier. That's like when I talk to you guys about my former friend. I refer to her as D. Nice person, I she and I are actually she and I were really good friends or whatever. And at one point, I think back in 2020, I think, around that time when I was like off for like 6 months because of actually it was 2018. So yeah, 2018-ish when I came off the road and did the package delivery side, and I got attacked by the dog, and my knee really screwed up, and literally was off for like 6 months, getting a weekly check for workers' comp, and going to PT, and basically, on medications, obviously for pain or whatever. Slowly working my knee back to working order. During that 6 months that I was off, there were times where like my wife would be at work, I would be home with the grand kiddo, and the youngest, if she was not in school at that point. But she might have been in school, or I think she was. There's a lot of. I think that was. Yeah, I don't think that was pre-COVID, so I think she was in school. So a lot of those mornings where I would be hanging out with the grand kiddo, and D would video call me on Messenger, and we would literally I would show her the grand kiddo, and she's like, "Oh my God, he's so adorable." I'm like, yeah, he is. Love him to pieces. By that point, I think he was, because he was a baby at that point. Like, he was born short. So, yeah, it was like early 2018, I think. So, but yeah, so, show her the grand kiddo, and we video talk for a little while, for like an hour or two, whatever, and then things fell apart, but she was always, and I almost just lost my train of thought, like, when talking about her and the grand kiddo, and it was like, that briefly was like, my mind almost went, so what was I gonna talk about? But, I had to think, wait a minute, redirect, direct, get out of the rabbit trail. That, you know, shout out to Meredith for Real, the Curious Introvert podcast. She talks about how she goes off on rabbit trails while she's interviewing people. All of a sudden, she'll kind of go down this little trail and, you know, either forget what she was, and she'll have to make her way back to what they were talking about. So I kind of, and then she talked to somebody that had one of her interviews actually was somebody that talked about memory and like how sometimes if you forget something, you literally just have to say to yourself, it'll come to me in a moment, or it'll come back to me in a moment. And, you know, I've tried to do that and it doesn't come back instantly, but I have noticed that, you know, when I start to lose focus, like I start to go down the rabbit trail, most of the time lately, like I'm at least probably 50% of the time at least, there's still times where I'm like, shit, I can't remember what I was trying to say. But there's other times where I try to do an about face and come back and I'm able to go, oh yeah. So part of why I mentioned, you know, D was like, I don't remember her always being that negative, but when we finally had the falling out and I walked away from her, it was just, this sucks, that sucks, everything sucks, life's never gonna get better, you know. And she didn't work. She was collecting disability because of or like AD or like SDI or something, Social Security disability or something. And it was like 15. It was a small check once a month. It was like $1,500 per month. And you know, she would get it by the first, and she would have it spent by the third or the fourth. And within the rest of the month, it was up. Oh man, you know, like going to the food pantry and doing this and that, whatever. And I was like, well, why don't you try to do something online? Like try to figure out a way to make money online to supplement. And she was, no, because I'll lose my check. And I'm like, yeah, but would it be better to not need that check? Like if you're in a position where you actually could take care of what you need to take care of. Because she was on subsidized housing too, I think. It was like a $2,000 a month apartment, but I think she was only paying $300 because it was like Section 8 or something. But the reason why I mentioned her is because of, like, literally our falling out was her being negative all the time. And I'm kind of, the way I would kind of describe myself, because she was part of our fight, was, you know, she'd yell at me about like, you're always like, you're always like laughing and joking and whatever. It pisses me the fuck off. And I'm like, she's like, you know, you're not really serious about anything. I was like, you know, D, like, I'd rather laugh than cry, you know. And so I'm not. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't help us at all to focus on the bad stuff, the stuff that we can't control, the stuff that we can't change. You know, you got to focus on what you can change. You got to focus on the positive, you know. And she didn't want to hear it, of course, you know. But that's my point. Is that we can't focus on things dragging us down. It's better to try to think about the things that you can change, to think about the positive, or, you know, I watched this movie the other day with my wife. I can't remember what it was called. I'll try to describe it for you guys. Maybe you guys might have seen it, and maybe you'd recognize, oh, that's such and such a movie. So if you recognize it from the description, drop me an email, you know, at the podcast email at blogshowpodcast@gmail.com, and let me know what it is, you know, because I honestly don't remember. I can see the actors' faces, but I can't remember the title of the movie. But basically, this group of people met up at this hotel, and I guess they were gonna go out in the wilderness. And they had a guide that was gonna go out in the wilderness with them, like out in the forest, you know, where they're gonna literally like be hiking like 5 to 10 miles a day, and, you know, camping out there. And, you know, a lot of them had never been camper, like they've never camped before, so this is a new experience for them. And one of them was this lady that she'd gone through a divorce, and then one of the guys that showed up for this trip was her brother's best friend, who apparently, as you get towards like throughout the show, like they end up, you can see that there's chemistry between these two people, the chick and the guy, and but you know, it's one of those where it's apparent to everybody except them, like, you know. Well, I mean, the guy, he obviously had the hots for her, but she kind of didn't quite pick up on that, you know. And then they end up getting together later on in the movie, you know. But one of the things, the reason why I mentioned that movie is because one of the things that they did while they're out there in the wilderness, which I thought was pretty awesome, is they would randomly, you know, group up. And they would be like, they would try to think of three things, like three good things. You know, either the things they're grateful for, or things they just think these are three positive things. And so, like, so one of them would be like, well, I'm grateful that, you know, I was nice and warm. You know, even though it was pretty cold out last night, but in our tents, I was nice and warm. I slept really well. And they're like, okay, that's one. So I'm grateful that I'm healthy. And they're like, okay, that's two. And I'm grateful that I have really good company right here with, you know, with all you guys. Oh, that's really great. So sometimes, you know, if you find yourself feeling down or struggling with your tents, you're depressed or whatever, which one other reason why I want to apologize to you guys this week, part of why I wanted to be part of the one of the things I thought about having the topic for this episode, even though when I started to record it, I decided just to jump in instead of doing today's topic is going to be. I just thought, fuck it, I'm just gonna jump right in, and it's just gonna be, as you guys are hearing by now. Obviously, if you're listening to this episode, you heard the intro, and then you just heard me just jump right in, you know. So there's no special like this week's topic is, and then the special little sound effect at the end, and then jumping into the episode. It was just jumping right in, but so that's kind of what, you know, one of the things I thought about when getting ready to start was I thought, you know what, I should do. And again, just had a mind blank issue right now. So I was like, say crap. You know, it happens. You know, even though I try to keep the rabbit trails to a minimum, but then of course it happens, and I'm like, shit, what was I gonna say? But okay. So part of why I wanted to apologize as well is because when I'm tired, you know how when you're sleep deprived. Like, when you're tired, like overly tired, excessively tired, it doesn't help. Like, if you already have issues with, like, you know, mental health, you know, stuff like that, because of, like, everything you're going through, or, like, you know, dealing with a stressful job, or dealing with stress at home, when you're tired, it just amplifies it. You know, if you can get enough sleep, and you're hydrated and stuff, that little things like that definitely help. But you know, if there's other things that make you happy, those things can count as self-care as well. Things that help lift you up, and so that you can actually like try to boost your mood up a little bit. But I've with this week, with my schedule, with the really, really long nights, and then the really, really late mornings before going to bed, I've been struggling with that this week. That's just me being, you know, because you know how this podcast, aside from the stories, obviously, but for the most part on this podcast, you know how I am. I'm all about keeping it real with you guys. I'm not going to bullshit you guys. I'm not going to lie to you guys. And so, and plus, like, I'm trying to be at least consistent with the Tuesdays and Fridays with having episodes post, even if I'm having a struggle week like this week, and I don't have the time or the energy level or both to be able to actually, you know, get a story written. It's still in the back burner. It's still in the back of my mind. I still, you know, whenever I have actual like free time, I plan to get on the computer and continue working on that stuff and still be able to work ahead, so that way I can get a couple weeks worth planned out, so that way, you know, I'm not time crunched. So if I have a week like this, it won't be as big of a deal. But if I run into weeks like this, then at least the very least what I want to do is at least do a bonus episode for you guys, so it's not disappearing on you, you know. So I hope you guys can bear with me, forgive me for that, of course. But so that's pretty much one of the things that I was thinking about doing, trying to start doing, to try to maybe at least at the very least to help myself on a mental scale or a mental level, try to find, you know, try to come up with like 3 or 4 things that I'm grateful for randomly. Like, so here's number 1 for you guys. I am grateful for, I'll try to give you 5, because the first 2 are pretty easy. So the first one, I'd say I'm grateful and appreciative for all my listeners that have been with me since the beginning. I really appreciate you guys. I'm, you know, grateful for you guys, because I know other friends that have had podcasts and stuff that have backed away from them a little bit, because basically they said they only had 1 listener and for a while, and they were like, there's no point. So, you know, they backed away from it and whatever, and I'm like, well, if you keep going, then, you know, things will eventually take off. But you know how it is, like, I understand, you know, it's hard to keep going when you don't feel like you're making any progress with whatever it is that you're working on, whether it's a podcast, whether it's a business, you know, a book. You know, if you're trying to write, or not necessarily a book, but if you're trying to create a project, and of course, like, they're just not going anywhere, you could struggle to be motivated to actually do it. What? Okay, maybe like 6, I don't know. But so the second one, I'm grateful and appreciative if you are new and this is your first experience with the Blodger Show. I want to say welcome, and I appreciate you guys. I appreciate those of you who are joining me for the first time. If you like what you hear, and you want to support, click that little subscribe button, the little follow button, or the subscribe, or whatever's on whatever platform that you're listening to this on now, and that way you can get notified when I release future episodes. I know right now, I'm on a bunch of platforms, but the top 3 are the Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Apple Podcasts. Then, of course, there's a bunch of other smaller ones that I wouldn't be able to list because I don't know them off the top of my head. Just kind of scrolled through and added my podcast from my host to a bunch of different platforms. That way I can reach as many people as possible. But let's see. So I am grateful for my health. Grateful for, like, the family that I have, that I support at home. Grateful for my faith, because I believe, I feel I'm very blessed. Even in my struggles, I would say I'm very blessed with an amazing family, an amazing wife, amazing 2 daughters, an amazing, adorable little grandkiddo that I could never get enough time with. It's funny, my daughter, every so often, like, she'll randomly say, like, we'll be talking about the grandkid, she'll say, he adores you, and I'm like, I adore him. It's like, I'll be doing something in the kitchen or getting ready to head outside to go check something out, and of course, I'll be like, Papa, where you going? I'm just going out here. I want to go with you. Most of the time, I'm like, all right, cool, grab your shoes, let's go. Or if I'm in the kitchen, he'll come in there and, I'll be doing the dishes. And be like, I want to help you. Like, all right, cool, here, put this in the dishwasher. Or put that in the dishwasher. No, put it like this. I want to help cooking, but we have a cast iron skillet. And I'm like, no, back away from that. That's hot. I don't want you to burn yourself. But I'm grateful for the fam. I'm grateful that even though this week has been hell, I'm grateful that I've at least been working every day this week. It's been a struggle a little bit, mainly because I didn't really have a day off. I got off Sunday, got to bed by like 12:30, got up at like 7:30, and then got a message from my boss saying that he needed me in there by like 9:30 to run in Knoxville, and I was like, ah, man, because technically Sunday, Monday are my days off. No, actually, Sunday, when I got up Sunday night, I had a message saying he needed me the next. Actually, no, okay, so I got the. That's a problem when you're tired, trying to, you know, everything's all jumbled. So trying to get the thoughts and the facts to actually like keep them straight. So slept till about 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock Sunday night, and then got to bed by like 4 a.m. Enjoying my drinks and hanging out, just kind of relaxing. And then the next morning when I woke up, I had a text from my boss saying that he needed me in Monday night to work. So I basically went from getting home late Sunday, being able to hang out for a little bit and actually enjoy the day slightly, but not much, to then basically having to go into work Monday. So it's like I felt like I pretty much worked Sunday and Monday, and then basically went into my work week Tuesday through Saturday. So it's like, yeah. So, and I was joking with the wife about it too, saying that watch, like any time that I've ever had a week where I had an extra day, usually I'd come in and work on Sunday or Monday or something, and think, oh cool, I'm gonna have 6 days this week, and then during the week, all of a sudden I'd have one day where I never got a call, and so basically I lost a day. So it's like worked on one of my regular days off, only to not work on one of my regular work days, which, whenever that happens, it's not quite as good of a day off as your regular day off, because you're off, but you were hoping to work your regular day so you can have a regular check. So even though this week has been hell, I would say I'm grateful for the fact that we're up to Thursday, and so far, well, I mean, we're at Friday now, but this is technically at the time of this recording when it's like Friday morning. It's my Thursday shift for me. Like, it came in Thursday night at like 10. So I've got, if I work tonight, that'll be literally, I'll have not lost a day this week, and I will have got extra stuff technically. So next week should look pretty good as long as I work tonight. But so that'll help, So I'm grateful for the fact that so far I've worked all week, and if I work tonight, that means that next week will be a little bit easier financially. So I'm grateful for that. Yesterday when I got off, because by the time I made it home, it was like, or made it to the hub, it was like 8:30, 9 o'clock almost. And the wife, I guess she was gonna get off like half an hour, so she had messaged, and because we have an issue, her Jeep has a transmission issue going on right now, so, and apparently it's not in warranty with CarMax anymore, which is freaking awesome. But thankful though that we technically have, we have extra vehicles. We have the car that I put in storage that I got to put probably like $1,200 into to replace the windows that were busted out, and get two tires on it. I'm not going to go with brand new because I just want to get 2 decent tires to replace the 2 that were slashed. And then after that, new wiper blades, oil change, and it'll actually be technically drivable. It needs things like new brake pads and tune-up and stuff, but at least we can get that car actually running. And we have the Buick that I picked up from my parents that used to belong to my grandparents, and we brought back from Oklahoma. That car is actually in really good shape or whatever. So technically, I'm grateful that we have at least other options, because my wife left her. She's leaving her car parked at the complex, not wanting to drive it to work because it's popping up with that service your transmission error or warning light on it. So she was Ubering the past couple days, like the past few nights, and then last night I grabbed the keys to the Buick and said, well, I guess I'll take the Buick. And she's like, well, why? I'm like, well, because that way you can take the truck, I guess, She didn't want to drive the extra cars. I don't know why. It's automatically, well, can I just take the truck? I'm like, yeah, but why can't you drive the other cars? Like, that's my truck. Like, that's my car. Like, why can't you? But I was like, all right, fine, whatever, So I'm grateful for that, the fact that we can technically trade off to another vehicle while we try to figure out something with one of the other vehicles. So I'm grateful for that. My wife, when I went and picked her up, of course, by that point I'd been awake for a long time. I was dragging ass big time. It was one of those where like I was trying to think about how do I get to her work again? It's been a while. And so making my way over there, and I'm going, I think I take this road, and then when I was on that road, I was like, I think I take this exit. I'm not 100% sure. And then when I took the exit, I was like, yeah, this looks right. And like, okay, I think it's over here. Oh, there it is. All right, cool. Get the wife in the car, and of course she's like, well, we can, like, let's go to breakfast. I'm like, all right, thinking like let's just go to Waffle House, keep it simple. She's like, no, we could try like another broken egg cafe or this other one, and blah blah blah. And I'm like, I don't have the mental capacity to try to navigate to some place that we've never been to. I was like, I knew there was another broken egg cafe next to the place that we go to called Otaku Ramen. If you're ever in Nashville and stuff, you should definitely check it out, or if you have one near you, definitely go check it out. It's called Otaku Ramen. You literally get you have the actual like Japanese style ramen where you get the soft boiled egg in there, and really good stuff compared to like the packaged ramen you get in the store. Yeah, you want the real stuff because the real ramen is awesome. So, but basically another broken egg cafe was literally right next door, and the reason why I headed that way is because they have their own parking, so it's really easy you don't have to worry about, hey, I gotta park in the street. I don't like doing that shit around here in Nashville because parking around here, it's nice when you can find a place that you get the first 2 hours free. So hey, one thing grateful for that too. Because Otaku Ramen, their parking lot, basically it's a paid parking, but you can scan this little QR code and you check in, and you literally get 2 hours for free, and then after that I think it's like you can pay an extra like $5 or something for 3 hours, I think, or for another 2 hours I think. I was like, all right, cool, man. So basically, as long as you leave by the time your 2 hours are up, if you're not in that lot anymore, then you're pretty much good to go. So when I first did it though, we were worried because like I have a customized plate, so it's not a regular license plate number. It has like Papa on the plate or whatever, something like that, But it wouldn't bring it up when I was trying to put it in on the parking app. It would just come up with something else. So I was like, well, crap, I can't pay for parking because it's not bringing up my plate. It's not saying invalid plate, but now it actually it brings it up and has it listed. So I'm like, cool, I can actually check in and do my 2 hours and take off, But so grateful for the parking thing. We're able to go there and park and register, because around here, if you don't pay, like if you park somewhere and you don't pay for parking, or at least validate it, where you check in, you can very quickly, they're quick, very quickly get your car booted, or come out there and your car's been towed after like 20 or 30 minutes. Like, oh shit, okay. So I'm grateful for the parking and trying this new place that we've never tried. Off the top of my head, I can see in my head what my wife ordered. She had grits. She had, I think she had something with shrimp. It's like kind of like a shrimp breakfast, whatever. But I don't know exactly what hers is called. But I know I got the Supreme omelet that basically had sausage, bacon. I think it had like 3 meats, and then it had mushrooms and cheese. And I'm like, well, I wouldn't think of that as a Supreme omelet. I would have thought of that as a meat lover's omelet, because Supreme, I'm thinking it's gonna have all the, maybe have 8 meat, but then it's gonna have like 4 veggies in it, like tomatoes, mushrooms, green peppers. But it was good. It was good, you know. And I got a side of bacon. So the wife was treating both of us because I was like, I haven't got paid yet. You know, everything I had the other day went to go to hit Aldi's. Hadn't been to Aldi's in a while. I'd been doing most of my shopping at Kroger, and got like 85, 90 bucks to work with. And you know, we were pretty light at home, so basically, like, I went to Aldi's and thought, well, I'm gonna try to, you know, you get a few with this, you get a few with that. I think, you know, you see people online post about, like, they post a picture about, like, their cart at Aldi's, and they say, like, oh my god, I got like 10 items, and I got like 6 items, and it's like 110 bucks. Like, it's ridiculous, man. You know, there's basically, you know how it is, all the people that post politics online or whatever, and they're blaming one party or the other for how things are or whatever. But when you look at their cart, you can see they have like 3 packs of like the meat, like chicken or whatever, and I'm like, well, yeah, like if you're buying a lot of meat, those are like 10 to 15 bucks per pack, but you're getting like chicken, you can get 12 bucks. It's like 5 pounds worth of you get like 5 big ass chicken breasts. So if you're shopping like that, then yeah, you're not gonna get a whole lot in your cart before you spend 100 bucks because you're buying expensive stuff. Which is nothing wrong with that, but you can't really complain about like, oh my god, I barely got anything and it's been 100 bucks. Well, yeah, but you got like 4 packs of chicken and like three $12 packs of hamburger, and you know, then you got a couple of odds and ends. I went in there like, and grateful for this too, because I came out of Aldi's going, ah, damn, there you go. Looked at my receipt because I was grabbing a couple things here, a couple things there. Got a couple things that, you know, because I'd asked the kiddos, like, if I hit all these, like, is there anything specific that you guys would like? And they were like, SpaghettiOs, if you can find them, and the cup of noodles. And I said, the pierogi boxes. They're like, yeah, all right, cool. I was like, I'll see what I can do. And so, a couple things here, a couple things there. Got the big pack of chicken that was, like I said, it was like 11 bucks. And it had 5 big ass chicken breasts in it, so it was like 5.5, almost 5 3/4 pounds per pack. I was like, I love that, you know, that's pretty awesome. You go to Kroger, you easily spend 12 bucks, and you get a pack that's like 2.5 pounds for like 12 bucks. And I'm like, yeah, you know, that's why, don't get me wrong, I love supporting a local farmer. I have a local farmer friend that, you know, I don't think he works for FedEx anymore, but he has his own farm, and I'll still buy steaks from him, but I used to buy chicken and stuff from him too. But then I was like, wait, you know, like, you could, some of the meats like chicken and stuff, it just makes more sense to, like I said, 12 bucks for freaking, not trying to curse up too much, you know, but 12 bucks for like, or $11 for like 5, almost 6 pounds worth of stuff. So you figure $2 a pound, that's pretty damn good. Compared to when you get like a whole chicken from him, he'll charge 20 bucks for that one chicken. And you know, it's you know, really good, really high quality, but still, you know, it's like, yeah, but it's still 20 bucks for one chicken. That's like, you know. So I like looked at the receipt afterwards because I didn't know how many, you know, and I even got a bunch like my wife, when I said like I'm at Aldi's, and I wasn't gonna go initially, I was gonna go that afternoon, but heading home from work at like 8:30 in the morning, my wife was like, "Can you swing by Kroger and pick up my prescriptions?" Oh, sure, yeah, I could do that, you know. And then I thought, well, fuck, I'm grabbing. If I'm going to Kroger anyway, I knew I had to get 1 or 2 items from Kroger that you get bigger boxes if you get them from there versus Aldi's. Aldi's is like corn dogs. Aldi's has a pack. The packs of corn dogs are like 6 corn dogs for like $4 bucks. But at Kroger, you can get their brand of a full-size box of corn dogs. Talking like 16 corn dogs. It's like, you know, it's an off-brand, so it's like $7.50 for that box. And I'm like, that's a hell of a better deal than 6 corn dogs for $3. because we have a grandkiddo that loves corn dogs. Like literally, we have to kind of put him on a limit because he'll we'll make him 2 corn dogs. They'll be like, "Can I have more corn dogs?" I might make him 1 more, but I'm like, we can't keep making you 2 corn dogs at each time, buddy boy. You know, because you're gonna go through the entire box. Just means I'll probably end up, you know, try to stock up a little bit, have like maybe 2 boxes in there, so that way if he does eat a lot of corn dogs, it doesn't really hit the supply too much. But I looked at the receipt, 42 items, and the total amount I spent at all these was like 81 bucks. I was like, damn, I'm happy with that. So I look at that, and then of course I look at the Facebook posts showing like, I spent 110 bucks, I only got like 5 items, 6 items. And I'm like, I got 41 items and I spent 80 bucks. I was like, so I don't think you're doing it right. Or as long as you get what you need, you know. Like, honestly, I wouldn't have looked at that and be like, oh man, I spent 100 bucks. Well, man, I didn't get that much. I'm like, yeah, but look at what you got though, because she had a couple of like, she had chicken, I think she had some beef in there, and ordered like a roast and something else. And it was like, yeah, but some of those items are like 15, like 12. Like if you get a brisket, it's like 15 bucks. You get like an almost 3 pound brisket, you know, like a corned beef brisket for, you know. So it's like you gotta look at what you have. But you know how it is. Like there's people that'll take pictures of something, and even though it has nothing to do with nothing to do with this other topic, they'll try to post that and blame that on like. Somebody will post something and blame it on Trump. Other people will post something and blame it on the Biden administration. You know, it's like I think a lot of people will just post stuff just to start shit. You know, that's why I try not to talk too much about politics in general on this podcast, because I don't want if I I would rather not have that be a part of the show, because I don't want to like say something about either candidate and basically piss one side or the other off. So I try to be like, you know what, I'm not gonna make that part of the show. It's not worth it. Too much drama. I'm good. But so I look at my receipt and I'm going 41 items for 80 bucks. I'm cool with that. I'm happy. Because it's funny, 41 items for 80 bucks, and I went over to Kroger to get my wife's medications. And then I got, because, we love those party pizzas. You can get them in a box of 4. They're those little square pizzas that you can throw in the oven at like 450 for like 12 minutes, and they come out nice and crunchy. Nice crunchy crusts, and, very, very flavorful, very good. You can get a box of 4 for like $7. So you figure, because, like individual pizza usually is good enough for at least one person, unless they don't have, like, they don't really eat that much. They could probably do half, but like me and my wife, I'm like, she sometimes will go with half. I usually can demolish like a full pizza and not have a problem, because they're still small, they're big enough to satisfy you, but they're small enough that you're not like eating a full size pizza, like full, like you order like a full medium pizza or large pizza from one of the pizza places and then eat it all yourself. You're gonna eat a lot more with that, but these are the crust is pretty thin, so it's not like So we got a 4-pack of those, and I got so that was like $7 for that, and then the box of the 16 corn dogs for $7. So 40 items at Aldi's for $80. Grateful, really grateful for that. Versus Kroger, 2 items, $16 for 2 items. I mean, I knew going in there that's what it was gonna be like, though. I figured, because I knew the cost of the items roughly. So I was like, yeah, I'm going in here and gonna spend a lot more per item here than I did at Aldi's, but it was things I needed. I needed the bigger box of corn dogs so that the great kiddo wouldn't just be out of corn dogs in like one day. 16, at least will give them 2 or 3, But got some veggies and stuff, got big ass pack of chicken, So basically, like, it wasn't stuff that would stock the entire pantry and stuff for several days, but it was enough for the amount I spent. It was actually a decent amount, to get us by for a couple days to, I could, 2 or 3 days, wait until like pay period, until the paydays hit, So anyway, y'all. On that note, I just want to again appreciate it for you guys being here. Appreciate it for you taking the time to listen. If you like what you hear, if you're a fan of the podcast, few different ways that you can support if you're willing. Obviously, like, follow, tell your friends. To help the podcast financially, which would help with, the cost of hosting and all that fun stuff. It definitely would help me being able to keep the podcast on the air and stuff. Go to bloggeshow.com/support. For anybody who wants to, want to learn how to become a digital marketer with access to a community and all that fun stuff. Step-by-step video training. Go to bloggeshow.com/freedom. And one new one that I want to throw out there for you guys. I don't know if you guys are familiar with like crypto and all that stuff, like Bitcoin and other kinds of coins that are out there. But my friend Ricco, he kind of told me about, like last Saturday, he kind of turned me onto this app where they have their own coin. It's actually on exchanges, so it actually has value to the coin. And the app itself is connected to a bunch of different places online that you can shop already, like Walmart, Sam's Club, Temu, Shein, and basically anytime you shop at any of those places, you get cash back in the form of their coin. You get coins, you get free crypto for referring people, for shopping yourself, for even hell just viewing. Like when I went in the app and I was looking at some of the online stores that they're connected with, I was getting free crypto added to my balance just from viewing the store. Oh, no, that's cool. So by the time you guys listen to this, I should have that part of the website up, because it's not on there as of the time of this recording, but I'm going to add another page. But if you guys want to check it out, it's a free app. You get $100 of free crypto for downloading, and then if you verify your identity, it's like $100 for that. And it goes up by another $100 whenever anybody you successfully refer somebody, like somebody actually downloads and they get the app based on your referral link. So I'm gonna make that web address. Let's call it. bloggeshow.com/free crypto. We'll do that. We'll make the web page free crypto, and it'll redirect to basically direct you guys to download the app, which you'll get free coins for downloading. And aside from that, if you want to check out a couple of really good podcasts, go to my bro Ricco's podcast, bloggeshow.com/Ricco, RICCO. Deals with the history of hip hop and all that fun stuff. Go to check out my other two favorite podcasts. I already mentioned her, Meredith For Real, The Curious Introvert. Interviews a lot of people who are paradoxical and has really, really good conversations. It's a very awesome podcast. And last but not least, What Was That Like? Podcast hosted by Scott Johnson. His motto at the beginning is literally, or his catchphrase at the beginning is literally, real people in unreal situations. So I think you guys will get a kick out of those 3 podcasts for sure. So check them out. But on that note, guys, I'm actually nearing the hub. Gonna get these trailers dropped. I've had like the last 2 days where I've got 6 hours of sleep. Last night I was dying. I was like, oh my god, I'm so tired. Thank God for that freaking cappuccino. Oh man, I was dying. I was tired. But I'm hoping to get home and actually get a little bit more sleep than 6 hours and feel a little bit better at night. But you know, as I always say, keep pushing forward, keep believing, believe you can, believe you will, and you're already halfway there. And then you just have to go out there and do it. Last thing I'm grateful for, guys, I'm grateful for you guys hanging out with me today. I'm a big part of this podcast. I would say it's as much for my benefit as it is for me to help you guys. As far as like with whatever advice I can give you guys, or if you're out there driving and you're bored and you're just hanging out with me, you know, it's the same with me. Like I'm out here when I mentioned like you deal with depression or you know just struggling in general, it helps me, like, you know, it lifts me up to actually be out here getting these episodes recorded for you guys and stuff. You know, I'm able to just, you know, hang out with you. So anyway, y'all, I hope everybody has a great weekend. Keep doing what you gotta do. And I will see you guys on Tuesday for the next Real Talk Tuesday. On that note, you guys have a good one, and we'll talk to you then.